If you're a busy dad or working professional and you're having a hard time right now when it comes to losing weight because of your busy schedule, pay close attention. Because in this video, I want to give you 3 simple tips that you can start doing today that's going to help you lose fat, build muscle, have more energy, and finally be able to reach your health and fitness goals once and for all. And in case you don't know who I am, or maybe you're tuning in for the podcast for the very first time, welcome. My name is Joe Callari. I'm the founder and head coach of Heartletics. Inside of our coaching program, we help our members learn what works best for their body types, their busy schedules, and their lifestyle by teaching them sustainable fat loss habits. Habits just like how Brian used to lose over 85 pounds within 6 months. But the best part is he was able to keep it off and still is able to keep it off. And it's going on 5 years now. So let's backtrack. Let's talk about that. How did Brian lose the weight? How did he keep it off? And how did he do it with his busy schedule? Well, let's tell you a little bit about Brian first.
Hey everybody, Brian Wills here. I had let my weight get out of control and I knew I needed to make a change, but I just was kind of at a loss on my own. And I've tried keto, Weight Watchers, Ideal Protein, intermittent fasting, you name it. And it would work great as a tool to begin with, but I would always gain the weight back. I saw Coach Joe's ad on Facebook and I decided, hey, what the heck, let me give him a call. And I learned how to eat for my body type and goals to fit it into my schedule, and even better, my family now takes part in it and teach them great, sustainable, healthy habits. The best decision I've ever made. If you're on the fence, I just highly encourage you to schedule a discovery call with Joe, see if it's a great fit.
He tried Weight Watchers, he tried Slim Fast, he tried keto, intermittent fasting, paleo, you name it, he tried it. And so when he was stumbling around on Facebook and happened to see one of my ads, he instantly thought, like, what is a fitness coach going to tell me and show me what I should do, because I've tried it all. And I think realistically, a lot of people probably think that way, just like Brian. I think it's normal, right? And maybe you're in the same boat. You've tried cutting out your carbs. You've tried intermittent fasting. You've tried all these different diets, all these different programs, when it comes to training and working out, but you haven't had any success. So maybe when you watch this video or you see an ad or anything like that of a fitness guy, you instantly feel a little bit skeptical, right? I think that's fair. I think that's normal because you're like, I've tried it all. But once again, coaching and diets, 2 separate things. Coaching and workout programs, 2 separate things. What Brian needed was a coach, but he didn't know it yet, right? Until he decided to schedule a free strategy call with me. Now, on that call, we talked just like men. Right? It wasn't a sales pitch. It wasn't anything like this. It was a conversation where in order for me to help Brian and actually see if he's a good fit for our coaching program or not, I first need to learn more about his body type, his busy schedule, his goals, what he tried before in the past, all these different things. And the best part is, on that call, we really got to dive into his schedule. You see, Brian was working this rotating swing shift. First week, it was like, first shift 1 week, second shift another week, third shift another week. It was constant, right? Like constantly changing up. So when he tried, Weight Watchers and MyFitnessPal and all these different diets, he had the hardest time really balancing all that in the midst of his busy schedule. Now, don't worry. I'm going to share with you those 3 tips here in a little bit. Don't worry, okay? Because if this is starting to sound anything like you, these 3 tips I'm going to share with you is really going to help you out to, once again, lose the body fat, build more muscle, and keep the fat off once and for all, okay? But talking more about Brian, I really got to figure out about his struggles. He was lacking the confidence, lacking the energy to play with his kids, high blood pressure galore, and just was not looking and feeling his best. And that was really starting to bleed into him not being the best leader at home and also at work, So when it came time for us to talk about building out a roadmap for Brian to follow, okay, we had to make it simple. We had to make it so simple that it didn't matter if it was first shift, it didn't matter if it was second shift, it didn't matter if it was third shift. He had a game plan to follow. He had objectives to focus on. And maybe that's what you need as well. It's not about cutting out your carbohydrates. It's not about avoiding alcohol. It's not about, stop eating fast food and junk food. It's not about endless amounts of cardio or spending 2 hours in the gym. No, it's about doing what you can right now today. That's actually going to help you move one step closer. You see, every day is different for everybody. right? You never know when life is going to throw you curveballs. And in Brian's shoes, working this rotating swing shift, that was already a curveball. But we already knew about that curveball. There were so many other curveballs thrown our way after he got signed up for our coaching program that obviously having the 24/7 support with me and my team, we're able to navigate and coach him and guide him through those curveballs to still help him to progress when it comes to losing the weight and keeping it off. Okay? And that's the first tip that I want to share with you. It has nothing to do with the nutrition, nothing to do with the training at all. It's literally a mindset. That the first thing that you need to do if you want to be successful when it comes to losing the weight and keeping off once and for all is to take it day by day. I know so many guys that struggle because they give themselves these expectations. Hey, if I cut out my carbohydrates, if I avoid all the alcohol, by the end of the week, I should be down 10 pounds, right? It doesn't work that way. Nobody can predict the future. And once again, life's going to test you. Life's going to throw curveballs your way over and over and over again. The best thing that you can do is take it day by day, right? That is the first tip. It's a mindset shift. You need to focus on what can you do today to move one step closer to your health and fitness goals, okay? Now for you, that's going to look different from Brian. That's going to look different from me because everybody's different. And this is why it's so important that you follow a plan that's personalized and tailored for your body type, your busy schedule, and your lifestyle. So that way you actually know what you need to do today. Now I'll share with you the next two tips on what Brian did. The first one was their training. The second one was nutrition. And this is definitely going to be able to help you out, okay? Now, when Brian first got signed up for our coaching program, he was just working out at home and then eventually progressed to going to the gym more, right? Where he's at now. Now, when it comes down to training, we had to keep it simple because remember, Brian was working this rotating swing shift. First shift, second shift, third shift, switching up every single week. So sometimes it was hard for him to go to the gym. Sometimes it was hard for him to even get a workout at home because maybe his kids were sleeping or it was just difficult. So what we focused on was just a push-up goal and a step goal. And you might be thinking to yourself, how does somebody lose 85 pounds by doing push-ups and doing sit-ups? Well, keep in mind, the workouts are just the icing on the cake. It's not the batter. It's not the meat and the potatoes. That's going to be with the nutrition I'm going to talk about here next. The training, this is what helps you just stay disciplined. This is what helps you stay more consistent, right? And if you think about it, if let's just say you gave yourself a step goal or a push-up goal, and maybe that step goal is 10,000 steps a day, something that, hey, maybe you have to plan for it. Go for a 30-minute walk or, move around and not be so sedentary. It's pretty easy to do if you really think about it. And maybe like the push-ups, you don't have to bang out 100 push-ups in one sitting. Maybe it's just like, 10 sets of 10. And you could do that throughout the course of the day. So it's not like you really have to, amplify and say, hey, for the next 30 minutes, I'm doing nothing but push-ups. No, like maybe it's every hour on the hour or something like that. Make it simple for yourself. But this is essentially what you're doing, okay? You're training your mindset by being consistent. Because if I'm going to wake up and I'm going to instantly start going for a walk, or I'm going to instantly start doing some push-ups, don't you think I'm going to do, or at least have, a better sense of awareness when it comes to my health and fitness journey throughout the course of the day? Absolutely. Because if you think about it, if let's just say they had a pizza party at work, okay? And I already woke up and I went for a 30-minute walk and I banged out a whole bunch of push-ups or sit-ups. It could be something, anything, right? And then let's say I go to work and they have that pizza party. Well, in my head, I'm going to be thinking, I don't want to eat that, or I don't need to indulge and have more than, a couple slices or splurge and go crazy, way over on my macros and calories for the day, because I already started off the day on the right note by just walking and by just focusing on a quick little workout, even if it's push-ups, even if it's sit-ups, so it really helps. Now on the flip side, if let's just say you wake up every single morning, you rush around to get to work, right? And like they have that pizza there at lunch, you're going to smash, right? You're going to indulge. You're not going to have that awareness of your health and fitness goals first. But now think about it. Do you really think like after having some pizza, okay, hey, when I go home from work today, I'm going to get a workout in or I'm going to go for a walk? No. You're going to be thinking to yourself like, man, I already ruined it today. I'm going to start tomorrow as, day one. And then that cycle continues. And trust me, I see this all the time. How many times for you personally has it been I'll get started on Monday, but then Monday shows up and you never actually get started? Or hey, after the holidays, right, beginning of the year, January hits, I'll get started then, but then sure enough, you do something that's not sustainable, you do something that's crazy like all the fad diets and cut out your carbs and the fasting, and typically, hey, you do good for maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks, but by March, back down to falling off track, regaining all the weight right back, and square one all over again. Yeah, if you just listen to the advice that I'm about to share with you and am currently sharing with you, if it's with this video or any of the videos, right, that I publish on my YouTube, I bet you anything, right? You can easily learn how to get in the best shape of your life and maintain that success, so you don't need to fall into all the fad diets and trial and error and throwing spaghetti up on the wall, hoping and praying something sticks, okay? So let's recap. First tip is take it day by day. Second tip is move your body, basic movements, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's doing some push-ups, sit-ups, it really doesn't matter. Whether you go to the gym, whether you work at home, it doesn't matter, okay? Basic movements. Third tip, and this is so important, okay, is Brian start tracking his macros and focusing on what matters the most. I know so many guys that, once again, they'll cut out their favorite foods, they'll cut out the carbohydrates, they'll cut out the alcohol, and sure, they'll lose a couple pounds, but eventually they just regain it right back because it's not sustainable. With Brian, we had to teach him, dude, focus on the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. Track your calories, hit your protein, and keep it simple, stupid. KISS, right? And you need to apply the same exact thing. And what should you do right now? Maybe it's, I don't know, like writing out or downloading an app or anything like that. Like, you got to be aware of what you're actually putting in your body. I know so many guys that have this horrible mindset of calories in versus calories out. And I get it. The laws of thermodynamics, right? Makes complete sense. But the reality is your body needs food. Okay? Your muscles need fuel. So if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. If you're not fueling your body properly, you're going to slow down your metabolism. You're training your brain, right, and your body to say, hey, we don't need your muscle anymore because we're not going to fuel it anymore, so we're going to get rid of it. And what's going to happen? You're going to start storing body fat, lose your muscle, lose your testosterone, right? It's going to tank. It's going to destroy your metabolic rate. All these things are going to happen just because you listen to everybody out there that said, hey, calories in versus calories out. You should do intermittent fasting. You should cut out your carbohydrates, right? Man, the mistakes constantly I see over and over again. And I think this is why so many guys, schedule strategy calls with me, because they actually want to learn. These guys are serious. They don't want to go through the same old trial and error and, song and dance and yo-yo dieting year after year. These guys, they want to lead, right? These guys, they actually want to know what they should be doing to reach their health and fitness goals. They want to have more energy. They want to have more confidence. They want to have more sex drive. They don't want to, retire one day and then they can't even enjoy retirement because they so overweight they can't even move. Or worse, they get a heart attack and they pass away. So let that sink in. The advice I'm giving you is pretty simple, right? First one is take it day by day. Second one, basic movement. And the third one is start tracking your food intake. That's it. Especially now with technology. I mean, our members, they literally just download our app and we give them their workouts. We give them their personalized nutrition plans. We take out all the guesswork for them. And, in case they're ever traveling for work or vacation, or maybe they're going out to eat at a restaurant or taking their family out and they need guidance. They want us to scan over the menu. We'll do that for them, right? We'll help them every single step of the way just to make it easy until they actually learn, okay, hey, these are the things I should be doing. These are the things I should be avoiding. And maybe that's the issue with you and why you haven't been too successful on your own health and fitness journey. It's because you're doing it all by yourself. There is no guidance. It's like you're on the desert island all by yourself and you only know what you know. So maybe for you, the best thing that you can do is maybe click on the link down below if you're watching this on YouTube. And there's 2 links for you. The first one is a free 90-day fat loss plan. So that's going to go over workouts. It's going to go over nutrition. It's going to go over different meal plans for you to follow. It's amazing. Go ahead, check it out. There's been literally over 10,000 guys that have downloaded that guide, had great success. The second link is to schedule a strategy call, either speaking with me or somebody from my team. just going over more personally about your own health and fitness journey. Like, what are your struggles? What are your challenges? Maybe you have kind of past or current injuries that you don't know how to make workouts tailored for your body around those injuries. Or maybe you want to rehab your shoulder, your back to strengthen it up again. Hey, maybe just speaking with a health professional could just make that process a little bit easier for you. Or hey, what are the best calories and macros that you should be focusing on and following, for your body type? That way you're losing the body fat and you're not losing the muscle this go around because you're thinking to yourself, calories in versus calories out. So once again, what's ever going to help you on your own health and fitness journey, the resources are right down below for you. And all you have to do is just click on the link and pick out which one that you feel is going to best serve you next. But literally, take it from Brian's point of view. In fact, I'm going to put a testimonial video of Brian just talking a little bit more about his own health and fitness journey because I think that's really going to inspire you. This is actually Brian's deep-rooted why. He talks about his whole entire story. He talks about how he wanted to become a better father, wanted to become a better husband, wants to lead by example. And I'll tell you what, if this video doesn't wake you up, I don't know what's going to.